Hello there and welcome to Etihad Stadium. I'm Nat Edwards and we're here for day one of the NAB AFL Draft Combine, and joining me is AFL.com.au's draft guru Callum Toomey. Cal, welcome.
Hello Nat, nice to be here. It's nice to be back at the Draft Combine. Obviously a huge week for the boys involved, so a really important week for the Sum as well.
Well, they're all here. They've all arrived here at Etihad Stadium. They came some last night. What have they had in store for them today?
Well, they've been officially welcomed. There's been lots of fitness assessments too. They've had the OPSM eye test, so
lovely.
That's obviously taken place. Look, it's a bit of an easing in day. Today's the quieter day of the four. There's some running vertical jumps, some standing vertical jumps later in the day, so we'll get the results for you in tomorrow's show for that one. But that's the main test of today, and in the coming days we'll get the sprint, we'll get the agility and the longer distance stuff too.
Now, how much weight does this testing actually hold among the clubs and the recruiters?
I think it holds a fair bit of weight for some clubs and some recruiters and for some players. Look, it's a case-by-case basis. I think for the top rung of players, it probably doesn't matter too much. We'll see a fair few of them who aren't testing through injury and whatnot. But for some of the guys who are trying to establish their place in the draft, it's really important to test well and compete well. I think the week mainly is most important to meet the clubs again. Many clubs bring their coaches along for the week, so it's a chance for the coaches to meet the prospects that they're going to be evaluating throughout the next couple of months.
Well, it is indeed an exciting week, and the countdown to the draft, which is of course November 27 at the Gold Coast, is well and truly on. We're all very excited about that. Of course, the Saints at this stage, they have the #1 draft pick, unless of course they trade it, and they have said it could be on the table.
Potential for that, isn't there? So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that unfolds throughout the trade period. Obviously there's a few contenders. Angus Brayshaw's one, Christian Petrarca's another, Peter Wright's one as well, but Paddy McCartan stands as the #1 choice at this moment for me, and the Saints and Paddy face the cameras this morning.
It's exciting for us as a club. We've got the first pick. It's also on the table. I think it's well known that we're keen to get 3 picks under 20 as we did last year. And
what would it take to move on that #1 pick?
A very good deal.
If to compare you to Tom Hawkins, is that a fair comparison the way you play?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's pretty far-fetched. I mean, I play full forward and he does as well. That's probably the only comparison. He's a great player and he's got a lot of runs on the board and he's a superstar. So I don't know. It's nice to shift a bit. I'm not sure.
Paddy McCartan's certainly a very impressive young fella, isn't he? Now, onto the Bulldogs, and at this stage they have pick #5, and you caught up earlier with Simon Dalrymple, the recruiting manager at the Bulldogs.
I think the first couple, even some of those boys have had some injuries, and then there's a big blanket that you could put over probably 10 players.
So Cal, clubs obviously have to nominate their father, son and academy players by Friday. What do you think about the Bulldogs' chances there?
Well, I think they're going to get a really good player in Zane Cordy. He's a key defender, something that they lack on their list a little bit, given some of the issues over the last couple of years. So, look, Zane Cordy has had a really good year for the Geelong Falcons and Vic Country. I think he's going to fit in the second round. Now, whether that costs the Bulldogs their second round pick at pick 25, we're not quite sure. That'll take an early bid. But if they got him for their third pick, I think he'd be an absolute steal. There's another option too with Jaden Foster, goal-kicking leader in the TAC Cup this year. So a couple of options for them.
Yeah, look, we've put the paperwork in with the AFL today and we'll nominate Zane. Look, he understands where it's at, that it's no certainty yet. There's no... we haven't said what level would take him at, so that will be just assessing it closer to the day. But yeah, he's happy that there's a chance that he'll be at the Bulldogs.
Now, Cal, someone who could also be in the frame with the Dogs is Jake Lever, a dashing key defender.
Yeah, he's absolutely in the frame, Nat. I think he's been a bit out of sight, out of mind throughout the year because of that knee reconstruction, so he hasn't played all year, but he's stepped up his training in recent weeks and he's almost back at full fitness. A big chance for their pick 5, I would have thought, because he's the type of player that I'd love, a type of player that any club would love.
All right, well, we caught up with him earlier today.
It's been pretty exciting, not only today, but the past week. I've absolutely been jumping at the bit. So just really looking forward to getting out there with the other players as well, testing and being a part of it again is really the most exciting bit.
So, Cal, if the Dogs don't take Jake, where does he fit in the scheme of things?
He's probably the hardest to read, Nat, because he's just missed so much footy, but he played so well last year and clubs have been so impressed with the way he's attacked his rehabilitation and done that so well. He hasn't missed a beat in his rehab, so he's been fantastic. I think he still fits in the top 10. He's at the Crows at pick 9. Is it the Suns at pick 7? Is it Dogs at pick 5? Maybe even Carlton at pick 6. I think they all would look at a key defender like Jake. He's tough, he's physical, he's quick enough, he can use the ball well, and he's a captain in the future. So, look, he's a top 10 pick for mine. It's just a matter of which club.
Well, another young prospect that has missed a lot of footy this year with injury is Nakaya Cockatoo, and we saw him go round in the curtain raiser before the grand final on Saturday in the under-18s All-Stars game, and he just absolutely starred.
Well, he did. He won the medal as the best player on the ground. It was his first game basically all year, so an amazing effort for that. He had about 20 touches, kicked an amazing goal in the last quarter. He ran out of the centre and showed his explosive speed and strength. He couldn't be tackled. It was just amazing. So he was excited to be out there, and just to see him out there was really good for clubs. I think on the back of that performance, we should see him get drafted in the national intake.
Well, we spoke to Nakaya earlier today.
Definitely doing all the testing. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm definitely been training for it as well. So definitely helped on the field. So been out of business for a while. So definitely get back and show them what I can do. It's good.
So, Cal, the running and standing vertical jumps, a favourite of mine being a shorty, are coming up later today. So that's what the players will be up to. So we'll have that all for you on tomorrow's show. But what else is coming up tomorrow for the boys?
Tomorrow might be a favourite event of mine. I think it's the repeat sprint and the 20-metre sprint and the agility stuff. So all over there in the hard court. It's been laid out perfectly here at Etihad Stadium, so it's going to be very interesting to see if Jared Pickett can break his 2.8 second record over 20 metres. He's the one to beat there, I think.
Well, plenty of action coming up this week from Etihad Stadium for the NAB AFL Draft Combine, and you can get all your news on afl.com.au. Cal, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Nat.
We'll see you all tomorrow.